Hey guys, it's Paul. So today I'm going to be profiling my Rokket deck, a deck I've loved since the Vrains era started and realized I haven't actually profiled on this channel yet. So yeah, I've got it. It's right here. It has arrived. So the thing about Rockets is that they really, at first they sort of sucked, and then they got like sort of decent. The structure deck helped a lot, and they got like the chaos stuff from Chaos Impact, and this is kind of an amalgamation of all of it. I don't really like just playing Dragon Link, so I tried to make this build a little bit more rocket centered than your typical Dragon Link deck that only runs like 3 rockets and a Striker Dragon and stuff. So, all right, we've got triple Rocket Tracer. This card is really broken, honestly. It surprised me that a card like this can even exist these days, but I guess it's limited in some ways. So you can pop one of your own cards and then summon a rocket from your deck. If you do, you can only summon dark monsters for the rest of the turn. This is actually crazy. It just gives you access to like any rocket monster you want in your deck. It's a quick effect for some reason, so you can use it in your opponent's turn, or you could like chain it to your own quick play spells, like quick launch for instance. And it's a tuner, a level 4 tuner. It's actually insane just how useful this card is. So yeah, and of course it is the rocket name. Then we've got triple APS routers. This is usually something that people maybe only run at like 2 or something, but I'm running 3 because this is a fairly rocket-centric build, like I said. You can summon it whenever you have another rocket, and then if it goes to the grave, you can search a rocket. And that goes to grave, of course, works with anything, so you could just send it with Foolish Burial or Dragon Ravine, but, you know, just linking it away works just as well. I actually really like this thing because it's level 7 as well, so I run Rocket Synchron, and that means that I can actually get it back with that card, and they can both be used to link up or to make Borlode Savage Dragon. So all in all, it's just one of my favorite new cards. If it was named like Apso Rocket Dragon or something, oh, don't even get me started. Okay, more rockets. Magna Rocket, 3 copies. I know this isn't too common either. So if you don't know all the rockets, whenever they're the main rockets, whenever they're targeted by a Link monster's effect, they can actually destroy themselves and usually get some beneficial effect. Magna Rocket Dragon, for instance, will actually just send a monster from field to graveyard. It doesn't target, and it doesn't destroy. That's really insane in a world where there's lots of monsters that either can't be destroyed or can't be targeted. It doesn't matter, you can get away with, you can get rid of any of those things, and then in the end phase, you can summon another rocket. He's one of your beefier ones too at 1800, so that's nice. So yeah, he's good. 2 silver rocket dragons. So this is the strongest, like just base rocket at 1900 attack. And again, if it gets targeted, you can do all that stuff, and it summons the thing in the end phase. This one lets you look at your opponent's extra deck and banish a card from it. Extremely valuable. This was actually even more relevant like last year when everybody was running like Super Poly and Starving Venom Dragon. Not as big of a deal anymore. Now you can just hit whatever you think is relevant to hit. Some decks have some key cards that you will like want to banish. Other times you can just, you know, have a little fun, look at your opponent's extra deck, do what you want. Okay, Auto Rocket Dragon. This gets rid of a spell or trap. Like Magna Rocket, it does not target, so that's nice. There's a few like problematic spells and traps that crop up every now and again that you'll want to get rid of, and that's all there is to it. Next, I'm running a Rocket Recharger. Now, this one's a little bit special. If one of your dark monsters that was special summoned from the extra deck gets destroyed, then you can send this card and summon a different dark dragon from your grave. It also can't be targeted for attacks if you have another dark dragon. It's nothing important. The main thing with this is it combos really well whenever you use Quad Boral Dragon to destroy something like Delingerous Dragon or anything like that. And that's neat. It just basically will give you a free dark dragon from your grave, and there's like plenty of great dark like dragon monsters. Actually, I think it's just a dark monster, but most things in here are dark dragons. So yeah, it's cool, and you can summon it with like other rocket effects like your Magna Rocket or your Rocket Tracer. I run a single Rocket Synchron. I quite like it. Like I said, it's good for getting back Absol Dragon. That's really it. This is nice though that you like have access to a level 1 tuner. It's just convenient for any number of reasons. It's like a +1 on summon. It's nice. You can even recycle it. Keeper of the Shrine. It's always been one of my favorite cards. I really don't know why this hasn't been printed holo yet. So anytime one of your dragons gets destroyed, you can summon this thing from your hand, or ideally, your grave. Once per turn, so it just keeps coming back. It can be really useful for keeping you alive. It can be extra fodder for link summons and synchro summons and things. All around a good card. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. It hasn't gotten errated here yet, so it's still pretty busted, and we do run the guard dragons in the extra deck, so it comes up. Summons free dragons. Nice. Starly Seifert. So this card is ridiculously good. I don't know why they made this card so good. So you are able to send any number of dragon monsters from your hand or field to the grave and add a dragon monster with the same level as the total of what you sent. Basically, you can just send Seifert to search for your black and white dragons. But you can actually use it with other dragons and search like level 8s, like Chaos Dragon Legionnaire. And also you can banish it from your grave to add a level 8 lighter dark dragon from your graveyard to your hand. So after you use your Chaos Dragon Legionnaire and link it off or something, then you can use Seifert to get it back and summon it again next turn. Wonderful. Black and white dragon. Yeah. Omni Dragon Brotar. So this is one of my favorites. It can search for, your dark dragons, because there's so few of them in this deck. And that's really neat. It also comes back when your cards get destroyed. This is Rokket, so your cards will get destroyed quite a bit. Useful. Chaos Dragon Legionnaire. Because it can be recycled, I didn't really feel like I needed to run more than one copy of it. You can search it, you can recycle it. It takes cards out of your opponent's hand, it can blow up cards in the field. It's just all kinds of things. Really wonderful. Triple Ash Blossom. Okay, so spells. Boot Sector Launch and Dragon Ravine because I run Romulus. So this isn't that important. You can just use it to pitch like Absol Dragon. Honestly, I've considered dropping that whole part altogether, but it's in there for now. And then Boot Sector Launch is searchable with Striker Dragon. This is actually a better card than I think people give it credit for. I know a lot of times people will just summon Striker Dragon and grab it and use its effect, summon some stuff from the hand, and then it gets popped or whatever, replaced with Dragon Ravine or just something. But when this sticks around in the field, you can actually grind for a really long time with your Rockets. So basically, you can summon 2 from your hand, which is nice, but also if you have fewer monsters than your opponent, then you can summon Rockets from your grave in defense position up to the difference that your opponent and you have in monsters. So you can, in theory, just kind of keep summoning them out and then letting them float and using them for link monsters and just all kinds of stuff. And it gives them 300 attack and defense. If you're running a super pure Rocket build, that actually gets pretty obnoxious with Annis the Rocket Dragon and Shell Rocket, which I don't run, but even with Silver Rocket, he's going up to 2200, and it starts to add up. In a world where grinding is getting a little more important in Yu-Gi-Oh, I think that cards like this go under the radar a bit. Wouldn't you agree? So Quick Launch is really OP. This is E-Telly for these guys. This doesn't actually have a harm once per turn. And it summons Rocket Tracer. You can summon other things, but usually you'll summon Rocket Tracer. But if you already have Rocket Tracer, then you can summon something else. And then chain Rocket Tracer and pop this and get another rocket, and you have 3 rockets for the price of basically 1 card. So, nice. Dragon Shrine and Foolish to pitch your dragons to the graveyard. Namely, that's going to be Absol Dragon. There are other ones, but with the Strudo gone, that's kind of all you're ever going to want to pitch. World Legacy Guard Dragon. So this is a Monster Reborn. With a little more flexibility, you can get a dragon from your graveyard to your hand, which is always a fun time. And you can even move your dragons, so this can help with Guard Dragon combos, and also can make Striker Dragon actually useful if you're trying to summon other link monsters. Yeah, okay. And then, 3 traps. 3 impermanents. This could be any number of things. So, another hand trap. Cosmic Cyclone, I don't know, whatever you want it to be. Okay, that's the main deck. Extra deck. 2 Striker Dragons to search out Boot Sector Launch. Also, its recycling effect can be pretty helpful. Again, this is one of those decks that can combo pretty hard, but can also grind, and that's why I like Striker Dragons so much. Elpian Pisty, and this thing's not banned yet, so whatever. Dragoonity Knight Romulus, again, kind of thought about taking him out, but he's okay. He's not dark, so you have to make sure that you summon him pretty early before you use your Rocket Tracer and get yourself locked into the darkness for the rest of the turn. But it is cool. It can extend combos slightly. And, okay, Quad Boral Dragon. and Delingerous Dragon. I kind of include them together because they work pretty well in tandem. Pitch a card, pop a monster. If it was a link monster, then you get to summon rockets equal to its link rating from your graveyard. This thing has some random effect that doesn't matter, but if it's in your grave and rockets get summoned, it can summon itself back, and that's cool. It's a link too, so it can help you, and they're there. Triple Burst Dragon, mostly just what you use to manipulate some arrows and some Guard Dragon combos. Although surprisingly, it's not the worst card in the world. Like if it lasts for a turn, that effect to tribute itself and summon like things like Quad Boral back could come in handy. Also, it does stop stuff in the battle phase. Not too relevant now, could be relevant in the future. Just depends on the matchup. Your boss monsters, Borreload and Boral's Sword Dragon. They're beautiful. I love them. You guys know what these do, but for rockets in particular, these will target your rocket monsters and thus trigger their effects. And that's actually important because your opponent cannot chain to Borreload or Boral's Sword Dragon's effects, which means that your rockets are free to activate without getting interrupted by your opponent. Wonderful. Unchained Abomination is another really fun one. So this thing just destroys things a lot. If a card gets destroyed by a card effect, it destroys a card on the field. If a card gets destroyed by battle, it destroys a card on the field. During the end phase, it destroys a card on the field. And this actually targets so it can trigger your rockets, which will destroy themselves and then destroy your opponent's cards, and destruction everywhere. Truly wonderful card, very underrated. This can help you grind quite a bit. Like, it's very underrated for that reason. But like, if you're in an extended game, getting these pops all the time is really cool. IP Masquerena and Nightmare Unicorn. Don't need too much explanation for them, but they're dark, so that's nice. And then 2 Borreload Savage Dragons. Honestly, in Master Roll 5, you could probably get away with 3 of this if you can afford it. But yeah, Rocket Tracer and also Rocket Synchron and Apps Router, they can all make this, and you'll want to ideally, slap a, what's the thing? Triple Burst Dragon. Put Triple Burst Dragon on this, and you'll be smooth sailing. So, yeah. Okay, that's the Rocket deck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I really like this deck. I've been playing with it a little bit more, both online and offline, of course. Not too many places to play right now. But yeah, fun deck. It can combo, it can grind. It's a little pricey, but hopefully some of these cards will get reprinted soon. And that's it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. See you guys in the next one. Pass turn.